How to buy real estate with no money down in 2025 ऑस्ट्रेलिया। Guys, what if I told you कि आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया में प्रॉपर्टी बाय कर सकते हैं without putting down 100k plus as deposit? Sounds impossible? Well, stick around क्योंकि आज मैं आपको 5 proven strategies बताऊंगा जो successful investors यूज कर रहे हैं 2025 में to buy real estate with no minimal money down. Or before you think ये सब scam है, let me tell you, I have personally helped clients acquire properties worth millions using these exact methods. So if you're ready to finally enter the Australian property market without waiting 10 years to save a deposit, then this video is going to be a game changer for you. Welcome back to the channel, and I am Rajan Sharma, and for the past few years I've been helping everyday Australians build wealth through property investments. And guys, the number one question जो हमेशा मुझे आता है, how can I buy property when I don't have 200k lying around for a deposit? Successful investors don't wait. They use strategies that banks don't advertise, government schemes that most people don't know about, and creative financing methods that can get you into the property this year. आज मैं आपको टॉप 5 स्ट्रैटेजीज एक्सप्लेन करूंगा जो अवेलेबल हैं 2025 में। प्लस मैं आपको न्यू गवर्नमेंट चेंजेस भी बताऊंगा जो प्रॉपर्टी इन्वेस्टमेंट्स को इजियर बना रहे हैं। स्ट्रैटेजी नंबर 1, इक्विटी रिलीज फ्रॉम एग्जिस्टिंग प्रॉपर्टी। लिसन केयरफुली, अगर आपके पास ऑलरेडी एक प्रॉपर्टी है, then you are potentially sitting on additional purchasing power. Here is the calculation. मान लेते हैं आपकी प्रॉपर्टी वर्थ है 900k and you owe to the bank 500k on mortgage. That means you have 400k equity. Now banks typically allow you to access up to 80% of the property value. So that's 720k minus 500k loan equals 220k potentially available equity to you. But here's the important point most people miss. Properties with 60% LVR or less often qualify for better interest rates. So not only you are accessing equity, you are potentially getting cheaper borrowing costs. According to industry data, this strategy has been used successfully. The key point here is don't wait for the perfect time. अपनी properties का या अपनी investment properties का equity access या equity analysis तो करो, and उसके बाद देखो कि options क्या हैं. Go to a good broker, get the valuation done for your properties which you already own, and gauge that how much equity you already have, and then you can plan your next steps. Now, strategy number 2, और ये 2025 में major development है. The government's expanded first home guarantee scheme. Only 5% needed instead of traditional 20%. Income caps removed. Income level doesn't matter. Increased property price caps. Sydney 1.5 mil, Melbourne 950k, and Brisbane $1 million. Government guarantees 15% of your loan, eliminates mortgage insurance. मतलब ब्रिस्बेन में एक $1 million की प्रॉपर्टी के लिए you only need $50,000 of deposit. Previously, you would need 200k plus, approximately $42,000 of mortgage insurance. That's potentially 192k in reduced upfront costs. और ये स्कीम covers 63% of Australian property markets, significantly more than before. ये potentially save कर सकता है years of deposit savings. Instead of putting money into a savings account, getting minimal interest, you could be in property getting capital growth plus rental income. Strategy 3, family guarantee loans. ये especially useful है if you have supportive family members who own property. Here is how it works. Instead of you putting down full deposit, your family members use their home equity as security for your loan. उनका existing property becomes additional security for your new purchase. The advantage, you can potentially borrow up to 110% of property value. That can cover purchase price plus associated costs, legal fees, stamp duty, everything. If you still have any concerns about the first property, as your property grows, right, and the equity builds up, the guarantor can be released from the agreement. So your family property can become completely safe and out of the investment you made. Industry patterns show families successfully using this approach. Parents initially guarantee provide करते हैं and children build equity, then potentially assist other siblings. It becomes a wealth building strategy for families. But in all of it, there's a very important requirement. Banks require guarantors to have that independent legal advice, and which is mandatory. So everything is transparent and above board. ये legitimate banking product है. So do not worry about that whether whatever I'm telling you is legal also or not. It's perfectly legal. Strategy number 4, joint ventures. ये effective strategy है क्योंकि it's about resource combination. Concept ये है that you have the skills, the knowledge, the time for research, but limited capital. Someone else has the capital but limited time or expertise. Potentially कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री पार्टनरशिप. कॉमन जेवी स्ट्रक्चर्स जो वर्क करते हैं वो है कैपिटल और एक्सपर्टीज का कॉम्बिनेशन. In partnership, one person provides the funding and other handles the research and the management of the whole property purchase. Proportional equity partnerships, different contribution amounts, profit shares accordingly. SMSF joint ventures, partnerships with superannuation funds. So what I've explained to you about the partnerships and various permutation combinations, the major advantage is that if you were going alone, you would require 20% of the deposit. But if you're going in partnership, your contribution significantly reduces. But the other very important point to consider for all of it to be successful is there should be comprehensive legal documentation about your contribution ratios, about your profit sharing, about your exit strategies as well. Strategy 5, rent to own schemes. ये एरिया स्लाइटली कॉम्प्लेक्स है बिकॉज मार्केट में लेजिटिमेट और क्वेश्चनेबल ऑपरेटर्स दोनों एग्जिस्ट करते हैं, बट व्हेन डन राइट इट्स ब्रिलियंट. लेजिटिमेट वर्जन कैसे काम करता है? यू रेंट प्रॉपर्टी फॉर अ स्पेसिफिक पीरियड, टिपिकली 1 to 5 years एट अबव मार्केट रेंट. लेकिन रेंट का एक पोर्शन फ्यूचर परचेज के लिए डिपॉजिट की तरह एक्यूमुलेट होता है. चलो कैलकुलेशन समझते हैं कि नॉर्मल रेंटल अराउंड $600 पर वीक है, लेकिन रेंट टू ओन स्कीम में $750 पर वीक आपको पे करना पड़ेगा. एक्स्ट्रा $150 पर वीक तो है, लेकिन अराउंड $7,800 अ ईयर जो आप पे कर रहे हैं दैट विल बी यूज्ड फॉर द डिपॉजिट बिल्डिंग. ओवर 3 years यही अमाउंट 23,400 एक्यूमुलेट हो जाता है. देयर इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट वार्निंग. विक्टोरिया स्टेट ने सर्टेन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स को बैन ही कर दिया है एक्सप्लॉयटेशन की वजह से. सो ऑलवेज गेट इंडिपेंडेंट लीगल एडवाइस बिफोर साइनिंग any rent to own agreement. South Australia, although, offers the cleanest version through housing trust. Rent to buy program for new construction homes at 75% market rent. Income qualification requirement hai under 150K household income. Let me give you a bonus strategy. SMSF property investment. अगर आपके सुपरएन्युएशन में 200K बैलेंस है, ये सिग्निफिकेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी हो सकती है. Your super fund can purchase investment property using limited resource borrowing arrangements. Minimum deposit typically 20 to 25% plus cost plus advantage ये है कि your retirement savings are funding the investment. Example calculation, 200K super balance can potentially secure $800K to $1 million of property worth. Super continues growing, property appreciates, rental income boosts super balance. There's a compound effect. So you should leverage that. But rules are strict. You cannot personally move into that property, cannot rent to related parties, must use proper LRBA structure. Please do your due diligence and talk to a superannuation expert or your financial advisor before you plan to invest in super. But advantages are huge. You can benefit from the leverage because the deposit is lower as compared to the asset you're acquiring. Hence, the profits are exponential. Now, why is 2025 the perfect time for these strategies? Current market conditions. Interest rates. RBI reduced the interest rate to 3.60% in August and forecast suggests there are further reductions possible. Property growth. Projections show 6 to 10% growth potential for 2025. Supply constraints. Only 160K dwellings approvals against 240K dwelling required. Government support. Increased assistance for property buyers. Guys, this is the perfect storm. Lower interest rates means cheaper borrowing. Supply shortage means capital growth. Question shouldn't be, should I wait? Question should be, which strategy aligns with my current financial situation the most? But wait, before taking action, important risk considerations को understand करना बहुत जरूरी है. Higher LVR loans typically carry higher interest rates. Genuine saving requirements still exist. Some strategies involve mortgage insurance costs as well. Family guarantee arrangements require careful planning to protect relationships. These aren't get-rich-quick schemes, but they are legitimate strategies requiring proper planning, professional consultation, realistic assessment of your financial capacity. So, guys, there you have it. 5 proven strategies to buy Australian real estate with no money down in 2025. And if you found this valuable, smash that like button, subscribe for more property wealth strategies, and hit the notification bell. Take care or best of luck with your property investment journey. I'll see you in the next video.